Day 2 of Mike's TikTok indulgence. Today we're getting.
If only we had actually had a day's break between the segments.
Right.
Today we're back to my favorites, the conspiracy theories. Let's get into it.
Oh my god.
So these were fun, and I didn't find 10. I found 4.
Oh, thank God.
I am really curious because I actually wanted in the selection that I'm compiling for next week. I think I maybe have enough for 2 segments, John.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna be sick.
My goal is for this just to be the entire show.
Well, okay. So I actually have a section for a type, a genre of conspiracy theorists.
Oh, nice.
And I think, okay, again, I mentioned Gunner TV again, but I really love his "Is it satire" thing. He does this thing where he puts and he gets people to guess whether it's satire or not. I really think that I could come up with a decent selection, and a lot of them are conspiracy. Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Well, I'm going to challenge you today, and we'll see. But everybody needs to keep in mind we are trained professionals. Warning, the following segment features social media usage performed by or under the supervision of trained professionals. Accordingly, NSCU and the producers insist that no one attempt to recreate or reenact any searches or scrolling performed during this segment.
Okay, I think that's been on the screen.
Did we lose you, Mike?
Yeah.
Wow, you really kept it on there. Oh, you really want people to read that whole
like and subscribe to see that for longer.
What do you mean? It just played the video. I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's fine. Go ahead.
You heard it, right?
No, we just saw the not so critical update warning.
You didn't hear the voice? I'll have to check on that.
We just
there's narration to it. I'll have to fix. I'll have to make sure you can hear that.
No, dude, we didn't see a video. We didn't hear anything. We saw the warning that you made.
Yes, there's narration to the warning.
Narration.
Oh, I thought you were talking about narration to the TikTok. Yeah. All right.
Did you narrate it?
Look, just you guys keep the whole show going. I'll find the recording and redo it right now.
Oh God!
God.
Okay, this is just for fun. Have you heard about this Roman Empire thing?
This meme. Yeah.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
How often do I think about it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just technically like every day.
Do you think about the Roman Empire ever?
Yeah, I guess sometimes.
How often?
I don't know. Once a week.
It's
How do you
so
not
weird.
think about the Roman Empire? Basically.
How many times, like a week, or just how many times in general, do you think about the Roman Empire?
Serious question.
What about the Roman Empire?
Just anything about it.
What about it?
Probably not a lot. Why?
Not a lot. When was the last time you thought about it?
Maybe a week or 2 ago.
What?
The Roman Empire.
Have you seen this, Peter?
Yeah, I have, and I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Do you ever think about the Roman Empire?
No, I fucking don't.
Never
ever think about it.
Because my wife asked me. I didn't know. I hadn't seen this. She asked me. I'm like, I don't know, every couple times a month, every couple of weeks. And she's like, why? Why do you think about it? Like, they have good battle strategies and interesting philosophies. Exactly like these guys are saying.
I'm not playing along. I'm not playing this game. I'm sorry.
Mike,
I'm
by the way,
refusing.
Kevin Defk said that they heard the disclaimer, so it was live on the stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good. Excellent.
Yeah, so it was recorded.
Okay.
What? How do people watching on YouTube get a better experience than we do? That's
than
not
we
fair.
do, right? Yeah,
Peter,
this guy.
Everybody watching on YouTube gets a better experience than we do.
Okay.
What were you saying, John?
I'm not playing.
I mean, I think about the Roman Empire like it's a fairly rare thing to think about them, I'd say.
Fairly rare.
But they definitely like, I mean, I think it's important to consider like how they
Jesus
did.
Christ.
Right.
I mean, there's a reason why they're
battle
so like
plans.
they're biblically important, you know?
Yeah.
So like historically speaking, I mean, the Romans, we can thank them for where we are today.
I know, right?
Oh, I know.
Empire was a very big part of history.
So how often do you think about it?
Not a lot.
How often? Once every month?
Maybe 3 or 4 times a month.
You think about the Roman Empire once a week.
It has a lot of big like stories and lessons like, within the Roman Empire of what to do and what not to do. So yeah.
So you think about the Roman Empire once a week?
Sometimes, yeah.
Probably. That's probably about right.
I don't want to do it.
Babe, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
I don't know, every couple days.
Yeah, every couple days. See? There's one.
Do you think
Oh, this
about
guy.
the Roman Empire?
A lot.
What does SPQR mean?
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, how often?
At least once a day.
Seriously?
Absolutely.
You're so excited that she asked.
Yeah.
Eric, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Yeah.
Once every 7 hours.
What do you think about?
Are you recording?
No,
Then why are you asking me about how often I think about the Roman Empire?
because I'm curious. I feel like it's something you think about.
This last guy's the
How
best.
often do you think about the Greek Empire?
Never.
Really?
Well,
They invented democracy.
Greek
I
myth.
think about them quite a bit.
Oh yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
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 And like Greek mythology, certainly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think about that.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Never.
Why?
Why do you think about it?
Why do you never think about it?
Not a fair question to ask me. I have a note on my phone listing of who, also list my opinions on them sometimes. Like, for example, like, I personally don't think that Clodius Albinus counts as an emperor, but yeah, some people do.
Yeah. It's a good meme. I mean, and it's made it a lot more fun. But yeah, go on. Let's listen to this.
Yeah. All right. So Peter, satire or not? Is that the game?
Is it satire? Yeah. We're
Is it satire?
ripping 100% offer.
Nobody thought about this, did they?
Okay, so the Titanic, right? This is one of my Roman empires. I think about it way too often. It sank in.
And this is how I found it. Somebody left a comment last time about the conspiracy theories that the Roman Empire never existed, which is how I found these first two videos. But then I got kind of sidetracked on the Titanic and then the next thing.
Okay, so the Titanic, right? This is one of my Roman empires. I think about it way too often. It sank in.
Oh, okay. I thought she was saying it's like one of my Roman Empire conspiracies. Maybe she's just saying she thinks about the Titanic a lot.
1912. When was it found? Does anyone just remember off the top of their head? 1985.
Yeah, gotcha. What?
It was found.
Yeah.
It was found in 1985. It sunk in 1912. And all of the excuses are normally,
The excuses. Oh, we didn't have submarines in 1912.
we couldn't figure out where it was because the ocean's currents and it broke in all these pieces and like we weren't able to locate it, right?
Yeah,
right.
It was in
1912.
They just never looked
in
for
an
it.
iceberg.
In fact, they never planned to look for it. There was never like an official search for the Titanic. No. Instead, do you know what they were looking for when they found it? Missing nuclear submarine. Obviously, this was a secret mission that they weren't going to tell the public about. So instead, they found the Titanic with the remaining days that they had as a part of this mission. And that was just the whole.
Wait, so she's saying not that they stumbled across the Titanic while looking for nuclear.
Your gain just went up a lot.
Oh, sorry. Is it still doing it? Let me
Fine for me.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just me.
Maybe a little high, yeah.
It could be. It won't go through to the recording, I don't think, because I'm recording from my end.
All right.
It has to do with the auto gain settings in Video Ninja. So her theory is she would have us believe that because the Navy didn't want to tell us about their search for nuclear lost warheads, lost nuclear submarines, not that they stumbled across the Titanic while they were looking for them, but that they found them, and then to explain the mission, they took extra time to go find the Titanic. They were just holding that one in their hip pocket for 60, 70 years.
Whole mission, apparently. No, they were looking.
Here's the thing that I don't get about a lot of these conspiracy theories. There's a couple of bits that are missing from most of the theories. First of all, why? Like, what is the point of the government withholding this information?
She'll get to that.
What are they doing? UFOs, any the moon landing. I don't know, the pyramids. I don't get it. Second thing is that a lot of these are like they require massive amounts of international organization between governments, which in my experience is pretty difficult to organize. Right. And like I just don't see that happening a lot of the time. So anyway, yeah, carry on. Go on. She'll get to the
nuclear submarine. So like, why would they not want to find the Titanic?
Why wouldn't they want to do that?
Like 70 years. I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that the Titanic wasn't the boat that sank. They would not ever want to uncover insurance fraud or anything like that. That would just be too risky for the U.S. government to uncover about, one of their top banking companies. And besides, all of that is conspiracy anyway, right? Right?
Yeah. I think that's real, not satire.
I love the just smugness dripping off of her.
Yes. Yeah.
She is so confidently incorrect. It's fucking crazy.
It's that last line that really convinced me that she's not being she's being
right.
Oh, it's terrible. Disgusting. Terrible. Okay, so
all right, let's go.
Then I thought, let's hear more about the Titanic.
In case you guys didn't
But this is where things got really interesting.
know by now, I love history. Or shall I say, I love decoding history. I'm going to start this video off with a quote from the author George Orwell. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. Keep that in mind.
According to you, George Orwell said that in 1984. Trying to control the past.
Sure, we've all seen this wonderful flick. I'll never let go, Jack. But what if this shit was not even true? Here's a newspaper talking about the Titanic and saying the passengers have been transferred. It is probable that all of the passengers on the Titanic are safe. While badly damaged, the Titanic is still afloat. What? I thought it sunk. So I guess when it comes to history, you'll never really fucking know what the fuck happened unless you were fucking there. Which brings me to my next.
Why didn't they just get on the internet and see what the Titanic was broadcasting on Starlink and have up to the minute reports instead of relying on sailors returning from sea weeks after the fact?
My next topic of the lost empire of Tartaria. As you can see, it's depicted.
I think there needs to be a new category in the not satire, and people who are pretending that they actually believe it, if you know what I mean. Like for views,
right? For content, for views, right?
So
I don't. I
mean, isn't that set? I guess that's not satire. So like, birds aren't real is satire. Flying spaghetti monster is satire.
Yeah,
these people could be like batshit crazy, or they could just be in it for the traffic.
And they're inflaming the public, right? Like because they are baiting people into believing.
Yeah. So that's how I think this is.
Yeah.
I think she's just putting this on for
But the first one you think is a true believer?
I think so. That last line of hers so smug. That was really
Which brings me to my next topic of the lost empire of Tartaria.
Is Tartaria anything either of you heard of?
No.
There was an allusion to it in our last segment. It'll look familiar.
As you can see, it's depicted in many old maps. They even have their own flag. Look, there's America. And look, there's Tartaria. During this time period, all of these amazing structures were built. It was a unified civilization with advanced technology, and they mastered the ability to have free energy for the entire city. And yet, history wants us to believe that people that rode around in horse and buggies built all of this. And I know what you're gonna say. Oh, they were poor. They couldn't afford to build stuff like that for themselves. Yet, look at this neighborhood. They couldn't build this for themselves. These are some pretty damn nice houses. I just refuse to believe that these people built this. These structures were already here. They found them. And a lot of these structures are a lot bigger than we think. Just look. Why are these structures buried underneath mud? See the windows down here? It goes deeper. Boom.
Why do they have foundations?
Now look at this statue in comparison to the building. Now this is the same statue, and you see how it is buried What could have caused this? Did some catastrophic event
Nothing.
like the Great Flood happen? And then the survivors just claimed all these amazing structures for their own, reusing them for their own purpose? Now, I'm sure you're already aware about the Freemasons.
I'm sorry.
But what does Masonry mean? The art and craft of building. So could...
Yeah, so this was when we were watching the pyramids one, and the guy had the theory that the pyramid actually was like the tip of a Washington Monument thing. That's this theory of terraria, the conspiracy of terraria, is that there's basically all this architecture and culture that was buried by mud below where we actually are. And she breaks it all down. Okay, so now this guy disclaims it, and no, this guy's actually debunking, and I'm not going to play the whole thing. I just want to.
Tartaria truthers.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A lot. Actually, it's got a lot of crossover with Flat Earth because these people can't read maps.
It does. So there are theories that everything was covered in mud, and it did have me thinking, like with the flat earthers, how far down do they think you could dig? Like you wouldn't get to China, as they used to say when we were kids, but like, would you just fall out the bottom?
You just fall, Minecraft style. Yeah.
The other thing the woman on the Titanic said is like, well, and maybe it was in a different video, but she was talking about how we made it to the moon. We got to the moon in 1969. How could we not find the Titanic in the ocean? Which is a good point.
No, it's not.
If you don't think about, well, one, we barely made it to the moon. Some people don't even think we did that. The Titanic is tiny, and the Pacific Ocean is actually 5 times wider than the moon.
Yeah.
So we could get to this giant thing in the sky, or we could find this teeny tiny thing in a space 5.5 times larger than that. These people are crazy.
So they'll look at a 16th century planisphere and go, oh, well, in the 16th century, they thought that the Earth was flat. And it's like, no, you just don't know how to read maps. It's the same reason they think that Tartary existed in the first place. It's because on old maps, the region of Asia, north of China and east of European Russia, is referred to often as Tartary. Why is that? Well, because the nomadic horsemen who actually inhabited those lands were known as Tatars by the Persians.
So I played this one to prove how boring the debunking is.
Yeah.
And that's why these don't get any more traction.
Yeah. It's why the Democrats aren't more successful.
Yeah.
And it's why the Republicans can get away with being so like just
inflammatory.
Yeah, because it's much harder to debunk something and to use logic to it's much easier to like inflame emotions than it is to it's boring to go through the logical side of why they're wrong. And
I know.
You just
So I had then one final point I wanted to make here.
Why is that? Well, because the nomadic horsemen who actually inhabited those lands were known as Tatars by the Persians.
Yeah. So in my own research, looking into this a little bit further, I found that that at the time, the small children of the Tatars were actually referred to as Tatar Tots.